Hey guys, this is just your reminder to subscribe. If you have any questions or any cards that you want to send in for our Sicko Zone Hall of Fame, anything like that, shoot us an email. All of our info is down below.
I'm just gonna wait. There we go.
I'm crying.
Cool.
It's a good start.
Oh, you good? Yourself?
Yeah.
You behaving?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Welcome back to Magic Castle's partner. I can never shit cowboy. I can't do.
I wonder where you were going there.
I can't do cowboys.
I didn't think cowboys. I was
Partner.
like, have we got a sponsor? What's going on?
No, I don't have it in me to do cowboys. Partner. Anyway.
Partner.
Pardon you. Moving to upkeep. Tom, you've been playing a lot.
Yeah. Also, I've noticed that when I bring my cup up, my white balance goes fucked. So like, that's really cool.
Don't do
Yeah.
that,
So, yeah, I got him down here. I've been playing with Mr. House from the Fallout set. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Just for people who don't know, he's a red, white, black for a 0/4 legendary artifact creature human. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you roll a 6 or higher, instead create that token a treasure token. And he's got an ability 4 and tap, roll a 6-sided dice, plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasures spent to activate this ability. So I've got the dice rolling shit from D&D sets. I've got attractions, stuff like that. It's just really fun. And when you use that ability with 4 treasures, it's like you're on a craps table, which I love. So
Yeah.
I want to get some casino dice for it. And yeah, it's really fun. It either gets a massive board of robots and just steamrolls or barely does anything. But I like the luck element of it. It's just, really, really good fun.
I only wanted to build it because of Comet.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah. And then I was just looking at like the other stuff that I've got currently on the work in progress list, and I was like, actually, I just think this is unattainable right now. But that's cool.
Yeah, I've moved, pivoted to a bunch of treasure stuff as well, because I realised that dice rolling isn't going to be that heavily supported. So relying on him, rolling 5 dice is a lot with him. You got a good chance of at least getting 1 robot. But yeah, really fun. Really fun.
I look forward to playing against it in Amsterdam.
Oh yes, it will be coming with me.
Yeah. And then on Twitter, you posted about having, a bunch of cards precariously thrown in your car, which did trigger me slightly.
That was a mess.
A lot of them were in a box as well. That was what was left. So yeah, I got a whole. Where's my camera? I got a lot of it's just tat, basically. The guy keeps saying in the store. Somebody passed away, and their family donated his collection basically to the store. It's Wayland's Forge in Birmingham. Good LGS. And they basically took all the good stuff out, and they say for charity donation that goes to I can't remember what the charity was, but it was picked by the person who donated it. So you do charity donation, and you just take what you want from it. It's great.
Sick.
It's all antiquities, 5th edition, 4th edition stuff. I've got a nice, I don't know if you can see it, Unholy Strength before they censored it. I got 11 Dark Rituals, which is always good. But yeah, just a bunch of black and blue tat and a bunch of ancient, just 5th edition lands and stuff. So, but
Just
yeah,
old ass art.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of sickos.
Kryptonite. Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend were just going through, and she was like, "This looks weird." Let's put it in the stack. So I came back with God knows how many cards, a lot. But yeah, it was great for someone like me who loves shit, old shit.
Kerri, if anyone followed your socials, would have found that you were playing Commander for the first time in forever yesterday.
Yeah. I've just been so busy recently that I didn't really have time to play any games. So my partner and one of my friends came to mine yesterday. Mainly my friend came over because he gave me all of his bulk to scan and log for him. So a lot of that was quite old cards. I say their old cards to me. It was like Theros and like Takia
Turning
and
to dust.
yeah, I know. That old to me. There was a lot of like
Old.
core sets, so like M13, M14, M15, and just a lot of like older jank, but not like super crispy old, not grandpa old. But yeah, they came over and we played Commander. We managed to get 3 games in. I don't know if this is like normal for like a lot of people who play Commander, but I feel like the games that we play specifically go on for so long. And it's just, I'm like, I just get absorbed in time because like I'm not really paying attention to
Yeah.
it. So like we played for like 12 hours yesterday, roughly.
I was about to say 3 games in a night is good going, and then you said 12 hours. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find most of the games that I'm playing usually in the range of an hour to an hour and a half.
I think our first game was probably the quickest game that we did. So I was playing. I'm trying to think. I played all my precons. I didn't bother getting Toxel out because I wanted to spare them from it for one time. So I did the Black Blue Murders at Call of Mana precon.
Oh, I love that one.
First.
It's my favorite. Moko. He's so good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Such a
I
good.
can't
That is my
remember what it's
favorite deck
called.
right now.
Yeah, I played that. It was the first time that I have played it. I played against it once before. But yeah, I played that one, and then second was Vampires, the Blood Rights precon from Ixalan, and then third one would have been the Explorers of the Deep, so another Ixalan precon. And I won with
That
the
precon's
Vampire.
busted, by the way.
It was,
That
it
precon
was,
is like too strong.
It's
yeah,
a
that-
that last game, the board had been wiped quite a few times, and
Doesn't
I
matter.
managed to just like instantly rebuild.
It doesn't matter in that deck.
Yeah, it was disgusting, and I kind of like did this thing where I was about to get killed because my partner was playing Balan, and I was about to get killed because I'd already taken commander damage, and he just stacks a bunch of like equipment onto her, and it's disgusting. But I specifically asked like, oh hey, could this thing theoretically be counted if you were to attack me? I basically just like bluffed my way into politics to make an agreement to not like do any damage to him.
Right.
I didn't have a counter spell, but I did have 2 blue mana open.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what you need.
yeah, I gassed it and then
What's
won
not a
that
counter
game.
spell when you got 2 blue open?
It was very good. I did though have I can't remember what the card is called, but it's like proliferate and then it phases something out.
Ripples of something.
It's like
Ripples
it's a blue
of,
and a 1 mana colorless, but yeah, I had that just as like a safety thing, just in case. But
Yep.
Ripples
it
of
was
potential.
good
There you go.
games.
Really good.
That
card.
sounds about
Yeah.
But yeah, good games. I feel bad for my friend though because I think that every single time that I don't think he's ever won a game playing against us yet. I think.
That's fine. That's the storyline. Like,
I do
there's
feel bad
narratives
though.
yeah.
But yeah, good games.
A lot of the games I've been playing lately, there's always been a clock. Like, there's always been, like, the Scarab God or something that is making us every turn lose a bunch of life. So the games I've been playing lately have been so quick because it's like everyone's life is going down at the same time, and then it's just like you just tap someone and they're dead. Which is quite fun.
I think we need, like, a variety because it's usually, like, us 3 playing when it's, like, IRL. I think we need to try and get more people to play with. Because it's like we all have like the same decks, or it's me with like my several million precons that I've purchased, passing those around to people. But yeah, I need to actually go out to my LGS and play Commander with people. So I get more info from people.
Yeah, I think the issue with the precons right now, I think it's even true with Thunder Junction, is a lot of them they've massively reduced the number of board wipes. So you'll find that a lot of the games just get clogged up with like, well, I can't attack, so if I attack him, then I'm just dead on the crack or whatever. So I think it'll be even just increasing, not just interaction, but, you know, if your precon has 1 board wipe and it going to 2 or even 3, you'll find that like, oh, I can wipe here and then redeploy, and then I'm ahead, and it should, in theory, speed the game up, even though everyone will say it will slow it down.
Yeah.
Because if everyone's got an engine online, no one's really getting ahead. I mean, if all engines are built equal, which usually, with most of the precons, they kind of are, apart from the blue-green Merfolk one, because it's disgusting.
I mean, it's the first time I've won with that deck. Like, I usually go with Blood Rights, because Blood Rights I tend to win with that.
I saw, so when that commander was spoiled, I was like, oh, this is, I like Merfolk, because he's played Merfolk like modern, and I was like, oh, I'll finally have a Merfolk deck, and I'll put everything that I've got in it, and all this kind of stuff. And then I looked at the pre-con, and I was just like, it's basically solved, and also everyone is going to be playing this, and like, so there's no, what am I actually bringing to the table on any sort of like, you know, personal deck building or like affinity for like this archetype, which is nothing, because they've just put everything you would want in the pre-con already. So it was tough.
The thing with that commander as well is just do nothing. It's just play Merfolk and then you benefit.
You don't need to do anything. It's great.
There's no thought. You
just
have to think.
There's also like, there's so many cards where it's like other Merfolk will get +1/1. There's like not just one. There's like, I think it's like 2, 3, or 4 maybe. So being able to like pull those out is very useful for that deck. But yeah, it was interesting to finally get a win with it, and actually I felt like I was actually able to play it properly because I've had more experience playing games. But yeah, good weekend of playing Magic. And
there's one creature in that where it gets +1/+1 of every time a creature explores.
Yes,
it's disgusting. And there's another one that, and also, creatures with counters on are unblockable. So you get that, you explore with like 12 guys, and it's just like, okay, cool.
And there's also another one where any creatures have got +1/+1 are they've got trample, and also there's another one where they've got haste. So it's like literally it's disgusting.
Merfolks have
but then also
flying
you've got
it's crazy.
Yeah, you've got the enchantment in that deck as well, which is if anything gains a +1/+1, it gets twice as many. So it's just like, it is disgusting.
It's branching evolution, right, in the deck.
Yeah.
And
that deck's just solved. Yeah.
It's very fun to play though. I enjoy
it. The dinosaur pre-con sealed is up to like $100.
Oh, really?
Which is wild. Yeah, it's like it's gone up stupid high. I don't know why. I don't think there's anything in there that's particularly driving it. I think it's just dinosaurs. So
I mean, dinosaur fans are hardcore.
It's what happened last time with Ixalan. All the dinosaurs shot up and stayed high. So they're doing it again, apparently. So I think Ixalan's going to become one of those like in the Strad like planes where they just keep going back to it because they know there's a crap load of money there.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants all the dinosaurs.
That reminds me as well, because I haven't played the dinosaur one. But that reminds me of like when I was scanning my friends' cards, there was a lot of like OG Ixalan cards that were just dinosaurs, and they were like a random few dollars, and I was like, why is this like?
Because it's a dinosaur.
But yeah, it is interesting.
I've not been playing Magic the Gathering. I have been playing a game called Home Ownership and digging a hole in my garden.
Farmer Simulator.
Yeah, the most green planeswalker I can possibly be. Moving just a shed load of earth, which I will not get into on this podcast because it's not the time or place for it. But as an excuse for me not playing card games, I need to put a flower bed in, which is incredibly...
Not building the bunker then. I thought you were building the bunker.
No.
Just randomly digging a hole in his garden.
We are putting a gigantic flower bed in, and I've just been like, I'd rather be doing anything else than this. So yeah, home ownership has always cracked up to me.
I mean, it keeps the reoccurring character Stacy busy if you get that flower bed in. So
well, you would say that, but reoccurring character Stacy has not contributed to the whole at all.
She contributed to the flowers though.
Vegetables.
So for year one of flower bed, we are just going to do. This is not a gardening podcast. For year one of the flower bed, we are just doing wildflowers.
We can call this section landfall. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, this is the gardening podcast within a podcast. So we're going to just do wildflowers for year one because it's this flower bed strategy. This flower bed is massive. So yeah, we're not ready to like commit to anything hardcore.
Just wait until
yet.
you can start planting vegetables and then sell those vegetables and thus making profit
We've
from selling
already
those
got-
vegetables to buy magic cards.
We've already got two vegetable patches, a pumpkin patch, a deep root planter.
I thought you were going to say buy a chicken coop. I'm still in Stardew
I
mode.
know I want chickens and I want ducks. I want like legitimately, but I don't think my dogs will like them. But yeah, I want those. But yeah, so that's why I've not been playing card games. It's because I've just been moving the earth around from one side of my garden to the other, which is great. So we will see. I will give a whole update next episode. Update on Adam's hole.
How is
I haven't got-
Adam's
I need
hole
to get-
progressing?
I need to write down clip times because that was a good one. Was that 14?
Yep. My hole is large and unkept. So and full of clay for some reason.
Yeah, I'm good as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can turn off and like leave me be. News. Someone put Command Fest Birmingham here and then no other show notes. So context.
I'm going to assume that's Tom.
Did I
Tom,
put
this
that?
is you?
I don't think
Maybe?
I think it's because we had
not,
no
we can-
news. But yeah, Command Fest Birmingham's coming up. So
Yeah.
20th,
going to it?
21st. I am going to it. Yeah.
we
So
go.
I am not.
it's just
Yeah.
me out of the crew. So yeah.
Yeah. I
be
was
there.
I looked at doing it and I was like, oh, I can do it really on the cheap. And then looked at the calendar and I found out recurring character Stacey is away for a work trip. And I was like, oh, okay.
Maybe not.
So I won't be going. Literally, I was like, because I'm doing Amsterdam, I was like, okay, well, should save money, be like financially responsible. And I was like, actually, I can do this like pretty on the cheap and get there. And and last time was such a fun time. And then Google Calendar just shattered my dreams there and then. I was like, oh, okay. It's like the highs, and then the crushing lows came very, very quickly.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I'll be there. I will be trying to interview people. I guess I don't know. We haven't really thought about it yet, but I'll have
Asking
a
the most
microphone.
random, obscure Magic the Gathering questions that could never cross your mind.
The questions you daren't ask. That's
And then questions we
prepared.
probably will, you probably would think about asking. So we've got some that are definitely okay for content.
yeah, definitely. But
There's a mix.
yeah, I'll be
mix.
trying to do that between games. I want to get more games in. Like that's what you always say when you go to a convention. You never do because stuff happens. But yeah, so if you see me, say something. Tell me you like the podcast, please. I'd like that. That would be really good.
Everyone just hunt Tom down and speak to him and be like, yeah, podcast is great. I give
Yes,
it a
please.
5-star review.
Give
And this
us
is
some,
your
like,
reminder. If you haven't already given the podcast a 5-star review, go give it one now.
I want like a supercut of people saying how good the podcast is. We can play it next episode.
Perfect.
That'd be nice. That'd be good for my ego.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I've had a lot of nice comments from people, so
Thank you.
we're doing good.
Thank you, everyone. Is it in
Thank you, imaginary
the
friends.
is it in the cricket grounds again?
Yes, Edgbaston.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That was nice. That was a
same as
nice
before.
venue.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's always
and
a bit, yeah. It's always a bit weird when they do like nerd conventions at like sporting grounds. It's like the epitome of like people who should be there. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice venue last time. Like
Yeah, I
decent.
like the open, all the windows down the side because I've been to the one in London. The last one I went to in London was just in a room with no windows, and it's so you know, it just doesn't
I
feel
mean,
as
that
good.
sums
That's
London up, to be
London.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's any event space in London.
But yeah, hopefully we get sun because it's nice sitting in the window, you know, jamming some spells. As you do.
It was sick last time. I'm like actually gutted that I can't make it this time round. Because it was a lot of fun last time.
That's where I met you.
It is, yeah. Lugging my suitcase full of basically all my Magic decks through Birmingham town centre. Not as fun. It's fine. It was okay. Yeah, but we will do a full report once you're back on the next episode.
Yep. We'll hopefully have lots of snippets to put on socials and stuff. So
Yeah. Right. Our main kind of discussion point today is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Thank you, Kerri. Was finally revealed, fully spoiled. At least the core set was. So we're just gonna run through that. I mean, everything's been spoiled. For context, when we were doing our show notes and discussing this episode, the commander deck list hadn't been put out yet. And we thought if we just focus on the kind of core set right now, and then maybe we can talk about the commander specific stuff at some point. Is that correct? Tom, you haven't added anything from the not core set, right?
I think I might have got something from the big score.
Traitor. Made me look like a chump. It's fine. That's cool. So, all right, we'll share my screen. Audio listeners, I will do my best. Video viewers, I've zoomed in.
Zoom.
You can see
and enhanced.
Super zoomed and enhanced. Our first card is a special mention, which is Kerri's preview card.
Woo.
I find it really funny that they gave Kerri the rope bind kink card.
Yeah, legit. Like I kind of like realized after looking at a lot of the cards and a lot of the people who got preview cards, I was just like, yo, they just straight up just gave me like the kinkiest card for no reason. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but it fits. And yeah, it's a black card, so I was happy with that. But
so Kerri's preview card was Binding Negotiation, which is 1 black for sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, they discard it. Otherwise, you may put a face-up exile card they own into their graveyard. This is hilariously not a commander card for the commander creator. And it is limited, most likely at most, and then we'll probably see some fringe standard play, maybe.
I mean, it works. It works against plot, right?
Yeah, it's got some good punishment against like plot and things like that.
Yeah, so
if that becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
And then the art is just some dude getting edged whilst being roped up, which is fantastic.
Wrapped up by a
also, like
rope.
the flavor text is like pretty kinky as well. The tighter I bind them, the looser their tongues become. Like, dang.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. One of the cards says that rooting is banned.
Yes,
and tooting will follow.
Yeah. Yeah, Australians are like, what? Yeah. Cool. So that was Kerri's preview card. We kind of broke these out into cards that Adam likes, then cards that Tom likes, and then cards that Adam will probably make a commander deck, and then cards that Tom will probably make a commander deck from.
Kerri's got one as well.
Kerri does have one, which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah. So
I was looking down the list. I was like, "Oh, Kerri's got one." I was like,
I put that.
Right,
I
get it.
I put that in there, but it's fine. I was going to do a bit, but it's fine. Sorry, we'll get that.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Forget that.
Spoilers. It's fine. So Bristly Bill Spinesower, 1 in the green for a 2/2 legendary creature, plant druid. As landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then for free, green, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. This is sick for my Windgrace deck, which has a tertiary plant theme in it already. The other reason I'm digging this is it's early, can put counters on itself as well, so it can become a pretty decent threat all by itself, and allows my landfall Windgrace deck to not be so dirtly. Kind of gives an opportunity for, I can actually, do something. I don't play Field of the Dead in Windgrace because it's the coward's way out, and everyone does it. So this just kind of gives another angle to it, which I really like. But yeah, that's
they
it.
They should have called it Spiky
simple.
Mike.
Yeah, would have been good. That's his brother.
Spiky Bill. But yeah,
I saw a bunch of discourse on this card. I'm sorry to lower the tone of the podcast. People were going like, 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been a legendary. This is Commander. Everything's a legendary. But if you look through the set, there's so many non-legendaries. There's so many non-legendary plant boys. They just picked this one. They were like, Commander's
this is
magic.
probably.
Shut
I
up.
actually think this is probably legendary to balance it in standard.
Yeah.
Because if you've got
100%.
3 of these out and you're playing a land per turn, you're putting 3+1/+1 counters on stuff. Like, that's obnoxious. And I think the fact that it is 1 and a green, like, you know, it's 2 mana, you get it out so quick. I think actually legendary on this balances it, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's not going to break like a format in which, you know, they ban cards so regularly. So yeah, Bristly Bill, I like him.
And it's 1 in a green as well. It's cheap as hell.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Anyway,
Into him.
that's the only discourse talk this episode. Let's go.
Okay, fine.
For now.
Gearred, Mirror of the Wilds is a legendary creature, human shaman. It's a 3/3 for red, green, white. So Naya has haste. As non-token creatures you control have tap. Create a token as a copy of target token you control that entered the battlefield this turn. That's a lot of word for make tokens.
Yeah.
I really like this in my like old OG Gearred deck.
Is that your Rhino deck or?
It's my Rhino, not Rhino, but it's Rhino
Rhino, yeah.
deck.
I had a feeling when I
Rhinos.
saw this, I was like, that's going in the Rhino deck.
That's going in the Rhino. This is going in the Rhino deck. I've seen people say like this is just strictly better than OG Gearred, which I think is wrong because OG Gearred gives you the token and then the populate. So it kind of does part A and part B. This kind of just does part B. Now there are a lot of token generators in that deck, obviously, but having a reliable Rhino token in the command zone is too strong for me to think about swapping these out. I think this is nuts. I think it's effectively like a mini Kiki Jiki, which is kind of nice. So yeah, Gearred is going in my Gearred deck. Typical, fun.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought? You'll probably notice a pattern that I am focusing a lot on green.
Disgusting.
Yeah, well, someone's got to bring taste and class to this podcast. Free Strider
I've
lookout.
swapped my green thing out from behind me to the black one.
That's fine. You have to let me know if you've done it now, because these are the tabs I made before the show started.
Oh no, I mean this. This used to be green.
Also,
Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that is now black.
Oh, okay.
best color.
Free Strider Lookout is 2 and a green for a 3/3 human rogue. Has reach. Has whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tap. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. Crime is targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyards. That is a crime, apparently. I think this is legitimately sick in, say, a fighting deck, or anything that just has. If you have like 20 to 30 ways of, or instances of like targeting anything on your opponent's side, like the amount of like incidental land gain you're going to get from this is huge. And then just filtering your deck from, like, you know, dead draws and getting them all out onto the battlefield, I think is really cool. Also, a 3/3 with reach, blocks for days. Like, nothing getting in with this around. So I actually think, like, in terms of just a value guy that you can stick out there, will kind of take out any, like, weenie flyers that might try to get in, as well as all this, like, incidental land gain you may get from either fight spells or, like, you know, targeted removal. I think, actually, this card might be pretty sick in a lot of, like, decks.
Yeah, I was going to pick this one, but you beat me to it. So yeah.
It's going. Yeah, it's going. It's definitely going in my fight deck. My fights deck.
It's going in my Shelob deck for sure.
Yeah. I need to like look at like my other list and go, oh, like, is there enough incidental targeting and crimes where this can like fit in and do well? You are not meant to be here, Campbell, but we'll talk about you now. You are meant to be in my command a bit. That's fine. So Campbell Profiting Mare is 1 a white and a black for a 2/4 legendary creature human advisor. Campbell reads, whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them create a tapped token that's a copy of it. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Love it.
So good.
This is sick.
Yeah, love it.
I don't think I have a white-black deck. I don't typically like white-black, Orzhov, Silver Quill, whatever you want to call it. I find them to be incredibly samey. They all tend to fit into like aristocrats or just like politics or like Pillow 40. Whereas this, I think, opens up some really interesting cards. So this opens up, Kerri, have you heard of like the Hunted cycle?
No.
Okay, so Hunted.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, big brain. So
fun.
Hunted. Here you go. Hunted Bone Brute. So the Hunted cards, what they do is they give your opponents. You get an overrate creature, and you give your opponents tokens as a kind of like downside. But with Campbell, you now get those tokens as well, and they lose a bunch of life.
Would you get both, or
yeah,
because it only triggers once per turn, right?
So you would get if on your turn, when you have priority, if you play this first, you get both because it's whenever they make 1 or more. It's basically the instance of them making tokens.
Damn.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, that is big brain.
So there's one in.
It's that hunted.
Yeah, hunted horror. Well, Hunted Horror is a black 7/7 trample. When Hunted Horror enters battle with target opponent, it creates 2 3/3 green centaur creature tokens with protection from black.
Bruh.
You then get those as well. So you're putting
Sorry.
So you're putting 13 power on the board for 2 mana and then draining everyone for 2.
That's so
and
good.
Gaining 2.
I just saw that Hunted Lamassu. I didn't even notice that horror.
Yeah.
That's
all the
wild.
Hunted cards are going to be absolutely sick in this deck.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Hunted Phantasm before. Phantasm? Is that the way you pronounce it? Yeah. I think I've seen that before, but I'm not sure where.
But so I'm think I'm going to build Campbell purely for the fact that this is a place of the Hunted cards.
That's really fun.
Yeah. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter battlefield under your opponent's control. Yeah, so for each of them. The other thing, so anything that like has a downside, like an undercosted card that has a downside to give your opponent some sort of token, and then you get that benefit now. I think everything requires review, so that is a Scryfall search for sure.
Oh, what's that land that you tap, add mana of any color, and give an opponent a spirit? That would also.
I know which one you want about.
Yeah, I don't know. Carry on. I'll find it.
But you could do that like in their turn, right? Because its ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah. So you could hold that up, and then on their turn, the other one is the artifact that give the artifact where you tap, you get treasures, and then you pass it around.
Yeah, Bucknard's Everfull Purse. I've just taken that out of house. But
you now make them as well, so there's no downside to it. Apart from obviously your opponent having. Yeah, so Campbell, pretty sick. I think I'm going to make him.
Forbidden Orchard, by the way, is the land.
Yeah. It is. Yes, it's aristocracy in the life drain, but I think for me, it's more that I get to play all these weirdos that make no sense in any other deck, which is my crack, basically. So, 3 steps ahead is a 1 blue mana instant with Spree. Choose 1 or more additional cost. So you can, by paying additional cost for each of these modes, get them, which is interesting. So for an extra 1 in the blue, you get to counter target spell. For 3 mana, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. And then for 2 mana, draw 2 cards and then discard a card.
Just a quick one on this, because with cards like this, because obviously you're playing 1 blue to be able to play it, but then you've also got to pay the extra.
Yeah.
Could you essentially like pay the 1 blue to then plot it, and then no.
So
Okay.
I believe the way spree cards work is they can't be plotted because
Right.
the additional cost is the casting cost.
Okay.
So if you plotted 3 steps ahead, you would basically play blue for a instant do nothing.
Well,
I'm just kind of like, realistically, why, to me, because my brain's like, why would you have this when you could just have like a counter spell if you're playing blue?
It is the
Obviously, there is the extra steps to it, but
yeah. So for me, it's the flexibility. These are
Right.
all things you want to be doing, especially in a deck like Volo. So I have an OG Volo deck, no blue green guy, and a lot of that deck's power is playing at instant speed, and being able to create tokens of really, really powerful enter the battlefield abilities.
okay.
Or if you have the ability to make another Volo,
Okay.
which is disgusting.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get board wiped and then you're stuck with all these cards that say, like, make a copy. And you're like, well, I haven't got anything to copy. So having the ability to either counter the thing that's going to stop you doing that, or stop you from, like, wrapping my board, or drawing cards and finding gas to keep moving on with the game is really just efficient. Now,
Yeah.
the card itself is not efficient. 3 mana counter target spell isn't great.
Yeah.
4 mana.
That's kind of like where my brain was at, because I'm like, there
Yeah.
are other cards that do have like 3.
Yeah.
But then also, like, is paying a blue and then 3 color, so 4 in total, decent for creating a token copy? Because again, like, my knowledge of cards is not great.
It is overrate probably by 1 mana, maybe 2.
Okay. But again, you're paying for that flexibility of having other things.
It's the flexibility, and it's also the ability to go. So my Volo list has the ability to make a shed load of mana very, very quickly. So holding up 6 isn't actually that hard.
Okay.
So being able to counter something and then advance my board by creating a token is really strong.
Right.
Or if I am looking to counter something and draw cards, like I think the flexibility here is like going to. It's one of those cards I'm going to put it into Volo. I'm going to play it a couple times and see if it fits and if it works. But I actually think this is probably one of the strongest spree cards. I might be wrong, but I like it.
I've just done a little bit of reading, and
this is when he tells me you can plot spree cards.
you can plot kicker cards, which I think is the same thing. If you're casting a plotted card from exile without paying its mana cost, you can't choose to cast it for any other alternative cost. You can, however, pay additional costs.
Okay.
If the plotted card has a mandatory additional cost. So I believe you could plot this for blue.
Okay.
And
you have to pay the additional because it's mandatory, because it's choose one.
Yeah.
So it can't actually, I was wrong, it cannot be a 1 mana do nothing.
Yeah, it can't be. So
it can't be. So it is.
Okay.
So it is at minimum 1 blue counter.
But then have you locked it in the plot as a counter?
I don't know.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Strange. I wanted to get that in before the comments. Jump down
Yeah,
for it.
I mean, we're probably wrong, and I don't care.
Yeah, this rule is
please.
very
Judge.
strange.
Yeah.
We do need to judge.
But it is interesting that they've put plot and spree, which are 2 very complicated mechanics in the same set. And the fact that you can potentially plot spree cards with things like Fibblefip.
It's also kind of like, how are these mechanics going to be just for this set specifically? Are we going to see them in the future? Who knows?
I think plot probably has design space outside of Cowboys, right? Like you could do something very crime, like, crime based, heisty based, and get away with and be able to do that. I think spree slightly harder.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was like a new Capenna, like Purge style, where like everything's gone like absolutely haywire.
I do think Spree is more generic than Plot, and the fact that they've given it this border is, there's the new little icon.
Yeah,
I think that's which I love. I think that's so nice. I think it, like,
I mean, they might just rename it and put it into another set.
Yeah. We'll see. I personally think we'll probably see Plot again because I think there's more design space there. Spree, you're basically just effectively fixing modal, like charm style spells by being able to turn the dial up on what the effect is. So because there's no way, right? If you said 3 mana, pick one, counter target spell. 3 mana. It's only the creator token that's making it cost more.
And the fact you can do more than one. You can pick all 3 if you pay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it does become a huge bomb later on.
Yeah. It scales with the game and the board state, which is why, again, I like it.
Also, the other mechanic definitely will come back. Saddle will no doubt come back.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if we go back to Ikoria, maybe
or anything, horses.
Yeah,
we just get a Barbie horse set.
Tom, these are your cards, right?
Yeah, it is. So my first one was Luxurious Locomotive. 5 mana, artifact vehicle. Whenever it attacks, create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn, and it's got crew 1, and it's a 6/5. Mostly this is just to go Mr. House because it's all I've been thinking about. But yeah, just crewing this with a whole bunch of stuff and swinging out, making a load of treasure. That's just good, right? And it's big. It's 6/5. You're going to get it through to
crew 1. Crew 1 means it's always going to be live.
Yeah, and you can jam as many things as you need into it.
I do like how they fixed it with activate only once each turn.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, this is a trick. It's like, you know exactly how many things have crewed this and how much treasure that person's going to get, which is cool.
Yeah, not much really to say on that. It's just, treasures. Treasure's good.
Is it normal treasure or is it taps? No, it's normal. Okay. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, pretty decent. My second one is a Spree spell, Shifting Grift. It's 2 blue base for a sorcery. And the Spree costs are 2 exchange control of 2 target creatures, 1 exchange control of 2 target artifacts, and 1 exchange control of 2 target enchantments. I just really like this.
I need to put this in my list and then remembered 90% of my games now are on spell table, and this is murder, the spell table. But I actually think it's really strong.
Is this literally like, for example, let's say you had control of an enchantment, could I then switch control? I could give that to Tom, for example, for paying that cost.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to have it. So you're just swapping the ownership of 2 of the matching permanents. So say 2 people have got an engine live and they both require them to have a certain enchantment in play, and you swap those and it stops their engine being live, that's okay. But the way that the stronger version of this is you have creatures, artifacts, enchantments with downsides, and you give them to your opponent and you take a beneficial one from them. So like demonic packs, right, where it's like the demonic pact, the 4 mana, you have to pick one, and one of them's like you lose the game.
Yeah, it's not.
Something like that. There's an enchantment where it's like 2 black.
Yeah.
Demonic pact. Yeah, smart brains. There's like it's 4 modes on it. Or was it 3? 4 modes. 3 of them are beneficial to you, and then one of it is you lose the game. You have to pick one that you haven't picked yet. So
well, it's not that you haven't picked; it's one that hasn't been chosen.
One that hasn't been chosen.
3.
Yeah. So you cross the 3 off, and then you give it to someone else, and then they lose the game, and then everyone goes, "That was fun. Let's play again."
I love this.
With you again.
I love this because at the base you could at least, you could, if you've got a 1/1, somebody's got something big, you're like, oh no, you've got a 1/1, I've got a big thing, which is great. And you can use it politically, like you can give somebody, if somebody's struggling, somebody's falling behind, give them something big. I think it's fun.
Yep,
and it's Spree. I love the Spree cards, and they're great.
I think it's 2 mana, 4 mana, exchange and control 2 artifacts. Exchange and control 2 target enchantments can potentially have really, really big ramifications on the board. Also, it doesn't say non-creature artifact, or non-creature enchantment. So there are situations in which you're like, I'll have that worm core engine, and you can have my soul, like a treasure. Enjoy. So I think this will see play in the right pods for sure.
Right, my third one is Servant of the Stinger. 1 in the black human creature human warlock with Death Touch. It's a 1/3, and it's got whenever Servant of the Stinger deals combat damage to a player, if you've committed a crime this turn, you may sacrifice Servant of the Stinger. If you do, search your library for a card and put it in your hand and shuffle.
This is uncommon.
Right?
This is wild.
A lot of the commons in this set are incredible. Even the commons are incredible. But yeah, I love this. I love it. It's a 1/3 Death Touch blocker when you need it, so no one's coming at you.
But also, like, say you have a pinger on board, which is doable, or just anything that, like, any sort of, like, on-board effect that, like, does a damage or, you know, exiles, like, any sort of crime, right, for as a tap effect on board, and then you've just got a demonic tutor just getting in. And yeah, a 1/3 Death Toucher is probably going to get in most of the time.
And if not, they're going to want to block it because they're not going to want you to tutor.
Yep.
So they're going to lose something.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose for them, really. I just think it's great. And uncommon, like you said, wild.
And human warlock, which are like relevant creature types as well. Like, it's an outlaw, like Outlaws of Humans, mono black humans, all a thing. So sick. Oh god. Okay.
Before anyone talks about this, what's everyone's like? I've recently seen a lot of people talking about like the GTA on Twitter. And I'm like, why is this such like a big thing?
Tom.
So, do you want me to go?
Yeah.
So there's a card. Do you want to get it up actually?
Yeah.
Adam.
Is it? Oh god. I'm just gonna put
Just open GTA.
Umezawa's GTA. So yeah, Umezawa's GTA is an old card. When was it? When did it originally? Betrayers of Kamigawa.
Yeah.
So it's 2 mana, legendary artifact equipment. When equipped creature deals combat damage, put 2 charge counters on it, and then you remove a charge counter. You can either give the creature 2/2, target creature gets -1/-1, or you gain 2 life, and it's equipped 2. So this is it's really good because you can threaten to pump your creature. You can threaten to lower their creature's power, and you've always got life on board. Like, you know, you can do it at any time. You can remove those counters. You can get that 2 life. So
wait,
yeah,
what is that not legal in a lot of sets? What's it legal in? Oh,
it's just modern because it's an old ass card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's just GTA is great in a lot of formats. It's just a good equipment.
But also it's because it's whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage, it's not combat damage to a player. It's just it has to get in. And then the charge counters are not put on the creature; they're put on the GTA. So if the creature dies, doesn't matter.
Yeah, the counters are still there.
Disgusting.
And you can still remove them to lower stuff and to give yourself health, even if it's not a creature.
It's. I would say the oh my god, Lost GTA is more of a PTSD of playing against Umezawas rather than. I mean, this is still sick and this is very, very good. I
feel like I was just kind of missing some form of like information on a big card or something that I just have never seen before, and I guess it's probably a common older popular card.
Once you play against Umezawa GTA, you understand. It's like unlocking like the 8th gate. Like you're just like, oh my god, this card's insane. Yeah,
I do love this one though. I think Lost GTA it's good. I really like it. It's
I mean, this art specifically looks sick as well.
1 mana legendary artifact equipment. Also, the normal art mimics the old one, which I think is quite cool. Equip 1, so it's cheaper to play and equip than the other one. It only gets 1 charge counter when it deals combat damage, and you can untap target land. Target creature can't block or put +1/+1 counter on the equipped creature for removing a counter. So it's a lot more permanent than Umezawa's because you're putting counters on rather than until end of turn. I think the third effect that you're going to pick when you don't need the other 2, which is the untap target land, is arguably better than gaining 2 life. I think. I don't know. And target creature can't block. I think is great because you can get stuff through. I think both of them together is obviously the ideal, but I kind of rate this. It's a little bit like the Pit Boy. if you've seen that from the Fallout set.
Yeah. Being able to untap a land at instant speed is busted.
And imagine if you've got multiple counters, you could just untap a number
Because
of lands.
now, yeah, exactly. So being able to just go, oh yeah, I'm tapped out. Or just being able, and then being able to represent all of that mana as potentially untapped at instant speed is disgusting. And that's before you get into like, that's a guy's cradle. Like, and then you can tap, untap, and like just go absolutely bananas. Like, it's not remove a charge counter once per turn.
Yeah.
You know, you can do these as long as you've got a charge counter on Jitte. So yeah, I think Lost Jitte in the right deck, like with like if your commander or your deck cares about like any of this kind of stuff, it's going to be strong. Target creature can't block. The fact that it's not just equipped creature is like that flexibility is really, really strong.
You can do that at any time to anyone's stuff.
Yeah, and then put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature is a bit limited. I think the reason I like it is because it just means you're giving more survivability to the creature that you've whacked Jitte on, even though equip 1 is nothing.
I mean, I guess if you're also playing, like, for example, an enchantment that doubles your counters, then that could, again, be beneficial.
Oh, yeah, in that Merfolk deck. Oh, yeah, and proliferating the counters. Because you can proliferate +1s, but you can proliferate these charge counters as well to add more.
Yeah,
I've got like a mono-blue proliferate deck that's got Jitte the old Jitte in it, and I want it for that. And I'm thinking Starscream as well, because creature can't block. I can get the Monarch back easier. Untap target land. I've got Cabal Coffers and all that stuff in there. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Fingers crossed I get it.
Kerri wanted to show us a giant beaver.
Oko can mount my giant beaver.
You can mount Oko. Have you seen that?
I mean, technically, Oko can't mount the giant beaver because he's a planeswalker, but
there are ways.
He becomes a creature. He can become a creature at the start of your turn. So you could make him a creature to mount the beaver, or you could make him a beaver, and then you could saddle Oko.
What's the sword? Luxo. What's the sword called? I can't remember.
Sword of Fortune or something.
The sword that turns planeswalkers into creatures.
Oh, I think you meant the new one.
Capana.
Let's Google. I don't know.
It's Elspeth's weapon. I can't remember. This is great content.
It's incredible. Thrilling.
What's this one? There's Luxor Guider's Gift, which
yes.
Yeah. You don't even need that though,
isn't a planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types.
The new Oko,
you can equip it to a planeswalker.
The new Oko just becomes a creature.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So you can make him a mountable creature. Is the thing.
Hell yeah.
What's the?
And then you can mount Oko. Oko the ringleader.
Ringleader. Jesus Christ.
He can lead my.
It took the internet about 20 seconds to realize that they could mount Oko.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, so you can make Oko a giant beaver.
Nice. He could be my giant beaver.
Yeah, this is hilarious that they made a mount called Giant Beaver that you can saddle.
This is the meme. There's so many.
I just feel like they have like a lot of like
they must know
undertone, like kinky undertones in a lot of things, and I'm just like,
well, yeah, this beaver is giant and gets bigger, which is great.
While we're on the topic of creature types, there's some strange ones in this set. Did you see that they've added Varmint as a creature type?
Yeah. Why is this not rats?
Right.
It's just vermin, but
why is it not
different.
just rats? Like, I mean, it's only 3, so whatever.
Varmint's actually a real thing.
Yeah, it's a very strange choice.
Like, it's on theme, I guess, but yeah. Make them rats. Make it a rat varmint.
Make it rats. Yeah. Creatures, we want to make commanders. We already talked about. I've forgotten his name already. Campbell. The other one I was looking at, potentially was Roxanne, Starfall Savant.
Yeah, I had her on the list as well.
Yeah. Is a 4/3 legendary creature cat druid for 3 red and a green. Whenever Roxanne enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite. Where Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target and taps to add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced.
And she's got a chocobo as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's that just a giant chocobo?
That's a giant chicken mount.
Chocobo one?
I have no idea where Roxanne's from. I as soon as I saw this card, I was like, are they just from Infinity?
Are they? Is this like the first time they've appeared in Magic?
I believe so. I don't. It's either
Roxanne's
they're from
new,
yeah, they're either from Infinity or I think Capenna, because Capenna has
New Capenna had cat druids. Yeah, the actually yes, because the Cabaret, I think it is.
Yeah,
are cat druids. So
yeah.
I mean, the fairy's gonna love her. So
I think this is interesting. I think the Meteorite ETBs get absolutely nutty with things like Panharmonicon, where you're not doing 4 damage to any target. And then also the second ability does not include just meteorites, it also includes treasures, which is filthy. So now when you're sacking treasures, you're getting double mana.
she's real good.
Yeah, I'm interested. We'll see. I need to go on EDH rec, see what the busted cards are, potentially build out a list on Architect, and then work out if it's something I want to invest in. But this is potentially up there.
I'm getting, is it Svella? Yeah, Svella vibes with the manoliths.
Yeah. I mean,
You could jam Svella in there, actually.
Svella goes in this list, right? Because now the manoliths are making double mana.
And you've got sync for your mana as well. Just throw it.
And then you got that's the other thing is with this. I think this is like a big stuff deck. The new Jolene goes in here as well. I bet.
There's a Y in there somewhere. There's a Y.
Is there? Oh
yeah.
I'm not going to spell live anymore.
Just search Plunder Queen, and you'll find the old one. And then you can get there we go.
Oh God. Oh, Ellie.
Oh wait, there's no.
There's no Y. It's a B. Jolene, Plundering Pugilist goes in this deck. Roxanne, so 1 red.
Is
Green
that a
for
snake
4/2.
horse? Yeah, I hate
that. Is a snake horse.
That.
Yeah, the snake horses are disgusting and should be killed on sight. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, create a treasure token, and you can sack a treasure to deal 1 damage to any target. I was looking, because I looked at this first before I looked at Roxanne. I think Jolene just goes in Roxanne because Roxanne's also 4. And then maybe a power 4 great is like a sub theme within that deck.
I love the right side of the art, but the left side I hate. I love that she's just punched that dude out of his boots. I think it's
so good.
Incredible.
It's so good.
That snake can.
Some of the mounts in Thunder Junction are disgusting. That was it. I think this overall set didn't really have that many generals that I wanted to make. Campbell is the one that stands out the most to me. But I think it's just because you've got way too ready.
I've cut it down, but
you were way too ready. But yeah, I initially had 0, so the fact that I went from 0 to 2 is decent. Tom, you're 1 of 5 commanders.
Yeah, so I'm continuing my trend of picking pre-con commanders, which I hate doing because it's it feels so,
pre-con commander.
Yeah, they're so good, but I feel dirty. Yeah. I feel dirty that I've spent so much upgrading my Mirko deck, but yeah, they're really good. So Gonti, Canny Inquisitor. First of all, I love Gonti. I think he's incredible. He's such a cool guy. He's just a cool guy.
Which planes is he from? Sorry,
he's from
Kaladesh.
Kaladesh, yeah, is he?
Yeah,
where are the Aetherborn from? Yeah, so they're like a race of they're like mechanical, weird creatures that sap energy from people, and they've got like a fixed lifespan, from what I can remember. But Gonti has got a special heart, I think. Anyway, 2 black, green, blue. Legendary creature, Aetherborn Rogue. Spells you cast but don't own cost 1 less to cast, and whenever one more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. A mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell, and he's a 5/5. Again, it won't work well on spell table, but I love it.
I saw this and I was like, doesn't work on spell table. Instant no. Right, I'm not building this.
I'm not
So is this
super
guy
big
from
on
one of the precons?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, he's a base commander.
Oh, wait, I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not super big on the Steely cards, but I think I might have to be this time because I like Gandhi, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Not much to say about it really. A bunch of cards from this set would be good, isn't it? A bunch of the old the pirate stuff from Lost Caverns. I picked up to make a deck out of it actually, but then realised it goes in here. The War President from the Doctor Who set, Rassilon.
I can't remember. I don't know any of the Doctor Who cards.
That goes in there. Just might. Okay. I'll upgrade the precon and see how it goes because I tend to pick a couple of them and upgrade.
I think this effect is sick. Never play it. So just not as interested in stealing people's stuff.
Also, I know we said we weren't talking about the precons, but all of the precons look incredible in this one, especially. There's some really fun cards in this one. Really fun.
Yeah, this one's got like 5 boots. Is really cool.
See, I think that's kind of boring, but
see, I think I would make 5 boots.
I'm sick of doubling effects. It's so boring. But yeah, he's all right. But have you seen the?
I was going to say the doubling effect does seem to be like their favorite design space right now. It's very treasures from 3 years ago. I do think they need to get away from it because they're just any effects. They're like, oh yeah, we can just double it, and it's like, okay, fine.
Yay!
Satoru the Infiltrator, continuing the trend of all the bad guys coming to the cowboy theme park to have a play. He's just blue-black, legendary creature, human ninja rogue. He's a 2/3 with menace, and whenever Satoru and or one or more other non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. That just sounds like a challenge. I just love building challenges. It's like flicker, plot. It's other things. It's mostly going to be flicker and plot because foretell doesn't work. Disguise doesn't work. Actually, does disguise work?
No, because it's ETB.
It's ETB, yeah.
Flipping is just
So it's mostly just going to be a flicker deck and get to use the new plot cards. But yeah, I love Satoru. I think he's great. He looks sick in his new outfit and his wanted poster one. If you click on that, he's incredible. Love it.
I love all of these wanted poster artworks. Like sometimes I'm usually not like fussed about them, like the special artworks. But yeah, these are pretty cool.
I think they're great. And I was talking to somebody about this. I feel like they've solved the weird color identity thing with this. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I can clearly see the wanted posters what the colors are.
I think it's fine. So I think all frames and stuff like this is fine in things like Commander games, right? Where it's like, this is my Commander, it's my general, my lead singer, and like we're having a social experience, and you can look at my cards, whatever, I don't care. I think things like Cube, I can understand, right? Where you're trying to have a really approachable playing environment where people are seeing a lot of cards, probably for the first time. Having a bunch of weird frame treatments and art treatments, I can understand can be quite intimidating. But I think for the format that we all play in Commander, like I have no issue. If you're like, here's this Russian all art, whatever, I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's probably going to be dead soon anyway, or I'm going to be dead soon, and I'm never going to remember this. So play your weird Russian cards.
The thing I was saying about this when I was having the conversation was the... God, what plane was it? It was the Amonkhet Invocations.
The Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, I can't tell what colour they are at all.
Yeah.
It's very small, the colour. Because they redid it, didn't they, in Master Machines? They had a couple.
Scarab God? Did Scarab God have one?
Probably.
Oh, God. Why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that is so hard to read.
Oh yeah, I would just assume that would be like black, maybe, because there's a hint of black on there.
Yeah, I can't remember who the new one was in Mom, but they did make.
It was
Jerry, wasn't it?
Oh God.
Jerry and Hazaret.
Why did I do that? I'm not putting that in. Okay, yeah,
Type
cool.
Hazaret and you'll come up.
Hazaret? Like that?
Hazaret.
Right.
Hazaret. Oh. There you go. Did you mean? Did you mean?
Oh no.
Jerry and Hazaret. Top one. Yeah, and click the bottom one.
I mean, that's fixed.
It's a little bit better, but still.
Yeah, I can see that a bit more, but I think like with alt arts and stuff like this, it can somewhat entice new players to be intrigued by the cards. Yeah. But like obviously when you start playing it, it's kind of like, oh, actually, what color is this card?
I don't know why Magic players are just allergic to asking questions.
Yeah, like I ask so many questions. It's just
I see that though, and I think it's the background color of that really does it to me. That just looks like a red card to me at the distance. I always read it as a red card for some reason. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's.
I'm shocked.
Doc, Powerlock, Grizzled Genius. He's a blue-green. He's a little bear druid boy. He's a 2/3. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast, and plotting cards from your hand cost 2 less. So he's in one of the commander decks. He's in the main set, but he's also in the Gonti deck, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just saw this. He's so cute. Look at him. And that, again, is just an excuse to...
little friends.
He's got little friends. It's just an excuse to use all the plot cards, use Foretell, just a bunch of weird stuff. And I just kind of love that. I feel like I could throw a budget list for this, and it would be good fun.
I have issues.
What are your issues, Adam? Come on. Old man yells at cloud. What we got?
Why are they a 2/3? Why are they not a 2/2? I want them to be a 2/2.
Oh,
I want all my bears to be 2/2s.
Because he's a genius.
Because he's a little bit stronger.
No, bears should be 2/2.
He's a genius. That's why.
This is a plane with anthropomorphic bears.
The 2/2 is right there. Look, spells you cost me go cost 2 less.
That's true.
Cards me hand cost 2
less.
Less.
Fine, I'll give you that. This is a plane with anthropomorphic bears in Doc Arlock, as well as bears that can be mounted.
No, I think he's come from New Capenna as well. He's come from somewhere else.
Yeah, I know. But this is a goofy Pluto situation in which there is one walking around on 2 legs like, I'm a superior being. And then there's a bear just like, people ride me. And I'm not having a good time. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not going to search it because I'll just search bear and every bear in Magic's history will come up.
Yeah.
But there is a mountable bear in this set. So yeah.
I love this guy though. This is some Disney shit. His flavor text is giving me Disney vibes. I just love. Yeah, I think I'll throw a budget deck for this together, and it'll be good fun. So
I just think from a world building view, it's like I know obviously this is like the beach episode or baseball episode of Magic the Gathering where nothing really matters and it's all non-canon. But like the fact that you can have the same species of creature walking around as a scientist. And then one that is so primitive, people just ride it around.
But this is because he's a genius, okay? He's smart. He's aware.
New Capenna had cat people that make cat tokens, so we've been here before. So
that is true. Actually,
you can get cat tokens. So
yep, and there were anthropomorphic cats on New Capenna.
Yeah, why wasn't that ever addressed?
That's
a whole plane of Goofy and Plutos.
It is.
That's fucked up. Okay, yeah.
It's a Simic experiment gone wrong. Just call it that.
Okay. Well, now I hate New Capenna, so thanks, Tom. Love New Capenna. New Capenna does rule, apart from the fact that, they're subjecting the underclass to being domesticated. That's a whole other topic. Next card.
Malcolm, the eyes, my boy. He's blue-red, legendary creature, Siren Pirate, flying haste, 2/2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. I've been looking for an Izzet commander for so long. that isn't boring. This probably isn't it, but I love Malcolm. It's not Spellslinger. It is kind of Spellslinger, but I want to try and build it not Spellslinger. I think there's a way to put not Spellslinger. I like Malcolm. I actually took this off the list before you opened your link. After you opened the links, so this might be another budget brew for me. Just
it could be,
just grab all the visit cards I've got. And...
Rebound could be quite nice with this, like rebound effects.
Yeah, plot as well. Get all the plot cards in there.
Yeah, it's
only your second spell, so you could have a start pile of plotted cards.
Yeah,
it's fun. Again, probably a budget for me. Budget brew.
This card.
I love Vraska.
Vraska's got feet.
She's
Why does she have feet?
One black green.
She's because what happens is when you're completed, you're made into a robot, and the first thing they do is give you legs. And then when you're uncompleted,
free legs.
And then when you're uncompleted, you get to keep your legs. Which is
complimentary
nice.
Legs with a completion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, you get to do. You get.
Go on, finish your bit.
I was going to say, like, you get to do horrific acts and kill like your best friends, but at the end of the day, you then get legs, which is quite nice.
Anyway, Vraska, the Silencer. She's one black green legendary creature, Gorgon Assassin. She's a 3/3 Death Touch. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return that card to the battlefield tapped under your control. It's a treasure artifact with treasure stuff. It's Shelob, but makes treasure. Yeah, that's it. I like it. It's cool.
For 1 black and a green.
Yeah.
Shelob's
you do have to pay for the ability,
6.
though, unlike Shelob.
That's 1 mana, it's nothing.
I think Shelob's 8.
Shelob's 8, and I think you have to hit with a spider, correct?
No, yeah. If a creature dies, if it was dot damage by a spider. So it's
which is even harder.
Yeah, well, it's not. There's a lot of spiders. That's my fight deck. But yeah, this is just solid Golgari. I haven't built a Golgari deck in ages, so.
This card is disgusting. It's worth noting that when they become a treasure artifact, they keep all their static abilities. So you end up with just these. Yeah, it's filth. So
also, you're returning the creature. So unlike Shelob, when Shelob does it, you create a food token copy. This is actually taking the cards out of the yard.
Yes. Which means things like what's his face? Sir Conrad?
Yeah.
Like trigger off it because you're getting double triggers because something's going into the graveyard and coming out. Just, anything where anything that affects cards going back into your opponent's graveyards. Actually, no. So combat triggers 3 times.
So combat will trigger 3 times, yeah.
Because it goes in, you take it out.
If you sack the treasure, yeah.
And then if you sack the treasure again, it will trigger again because it goes back into their graveyard from the battlefield. So
one notable
sickness.
One notable difference between this and Shelob, it's creatures your opponent controls, so you can't do the infinite that Shelob can do with. There's a druid that you can untap by putting a -1 counter on. You know,
yes,
yeah,
I know the one. Yeah,
with Shelob you can target that and get that back and go infinite. So she can't do that. So that's one little negative on her. But yeah, just gross Golgari. Maybe I'll build it. We'll see.
There's the 1 green enchantment, Viridian something, where it's like if an artifact an opponent controls, if an artifact would hit an opponent's graveyard, you draw a card.
Yeah.
So you sack their treasure, you sack your treasure, and get a card.
No, because it wouldn't be an artifact as it hits the yard. Would it be? Would it? I don't know.
I think it would be.
Judge.
We
need the judge.
I don't
judge
know,
in comments. Let us know.
It would die and then. Yeah, we'll see. We'll ask a judge.
I think it dies as an artifact. This is a judge is going to come to my house and shoot me in the head, spreading misinformation. But I'm pretty sure it dies, it goes to the graveyard, the trigger happens, and then the state-based action of it's no longer an artifact happens, but it doesn't matter because the artifact has gone to a graveyard. So and then the trigger still resolves because the trigger's not checking the card in the graveyard to see if it's an artifact or not. All it's checking is has an artifact left the battlefield and gone to the graveyard.
This is a children's playing card game.
This is also meant to be a comedy show with like rules.
Viridian Revel is the card you're thinking of.
Yes, that card. Yeah, if it works the way I think it is meant to work, that card's sick because now you're not only you stealing people's stuff, you're gaining mana and then also resources off it. This card's disgusting, and if you play it, you should be like disgusted with yourself, and then know that you're probably going to get knocked out first.
Yeah,
legitimately, like I don't think there's any world in which you play this and everyone's like, "That's okay."
Oh no, but it's the same with Shelob. Everyone hates when I play that deck. So
yeah, but I feel like Shelob's interesting because it's like an inevitable doom, right? It takes a little while to get there, whereas this is free mana. You can have this out on turn 2.
Yeah, that's true.
With
Shelob
a mana up to
I do kind of like sit back with Shelob and don't do anything until the turn I win, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
But it is a big, quite a big one. But yeah, there's a lot more that I didn't put on the list. I'll be honest. There's so many legends in this set that are decent.
I'm in terms of like this set overall. I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know. I thought there'd be even more for me. There's some stuff that's really good, but like this isn't not only the long-awaited Cowboy set as well as the 100 Magic the Gathering set. I just thought there'd be a little bit more in terms of things that I want to build around or things that I'm like, oh, that's an auto include. Like the stuff I showed today are not all. Maybe the Cactus Man, Spiky Mike, is probably the only auto include for me in Windgrace. But everything else, I'm like, I could take it or leave it.
Free Strider's pretty powerful though.
Free Strider. Yeah, I can see Free Strider being pretty auto include, but two or three cards does not a set make. In my opinion.
Thibblethip is the other one that I do want to make, but he's so cute.
So that is some of my favourite cards for Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Kerri did not have time, so it's just like, here's my preview card and a beaver.
To be honest, I haven't fully looked at all the cards yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna look at everything this week, technically next week, but this week. And because obviously it's pre-release soon, so I'm going to go through the cards and see what I want to get. I just know that I want to collect all of the Oko cards, all of the Oko variants.
How many are there?
That is I think there's 3.
Yeah, there's 3. There's the white poster, there's the...
normal, yeah.
Oof, full art, $42.
Yeah, because that's the reprint of his not great card. But yeah, I want to get all of them somehow. Hopefully I can pull them all, but if not, I will be doing swapsies with people or purchasing them.
It's worth mentioning as well that the what is it called in this set? There's the newspaper.
Breaking news.
The breaking news set has got insane reprints in it.
It's $150 for the foil.
Yeah.
Also,
I'll somehow get it. Maybe,
the big score set has got some really, really powerful cards in it. We're not talking about them today, but there's some real bangers in that.
I think loot. Oh god, damn it! We need to get a shirt that is like my terrible scryfall searches. I think loot the key to everything.
$250 for the big score number 62.
Because it's the foil. Because the foils, the textured foils, you can only get in
collectors.
Yeah, they're like the oil slick, like the yeah. I hate this fucker.
I love him.
No,
I love him. He's a little Furby. Look at him.
Get his unfinity ass out of here. Send him back to space.
I do think he's going to tie into the because there's a space set coming out next year.
Oh yeah. He also just looks like he'll eat your face in your sleep.
He's like a little gremlin.
He's a gremlin, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll turn into something later. Something scary.
Nicobolas.
Yeah.
No, it's actually just Jace.
It's Emrakul in the tail.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a note of that in case that does actually come true and I need to come back to this.
I hate this. I hate
Put
this
your
guy.
predictions in now.
Yeah, get them all in.
I also think the card is not as strong as everyone's making out to be. $250 for that big the variant is unhinged.
I want to say just because I'm assuming that's Jace and Vraska in there.
Yes.
They just look very strange. Well, Jace looks weird.
Jace looks weird as hell.
Yeah.
He's got no chin.
But I guess it's probably just kind of because it's cute, maybe.
It is kind of cute, yeah. And it's rare. And also the set isn't really out yet, so.
Well, it's a mythic on the bonus sheet. So it's like there's one slot for this, and then it's a mythic pull rate as part of that bonus sheet.
Yeah.
And then this treatment is like, so I'm not sure how many big scorecards you can get in the collector boosters. I don't know if it's like more than one slot, like the play boosters. But yeah, so. If you're listening to this, please do not pay $250 for this.
Don't do that.
This fucking guy.
I mean, to be honest, I'm assuming the prices will go down once the set fixes out.
Once people have open packs, it'll go down. Do not pay $150 for an old Oko. Jesus fucking Christ.
There's a specific... So I also want to collect all the Sorin cards, and I've got a Japanese Sorin card, which wasn't super expensive, but I did see a different variant. I think it was a promotion card for Sorin, which again, a Japanese promotion card, and it was like 100 and some, or actually 300 and something. I was like, I'm just gonna wait and see if that ever goes down in price, because there has been like a few fluctuations for it. But yeah, I'm not like crying if I don't get all of them. It's just maybe I'll collect them all at one point.
Yeah, I'm into like some of the borderless art and the all art treatments, but I'm not paying $43 for Oko.
Yeah.
So the most you can get in a collector's booster is 3 big score, and that's if you're very lucky. There's one OTJ or big, and then there's the wildcard slots that you can potentially get anything. So you could, if you're really lucky, you'll get 3. So yeah, the rarity is pretty up there.
Well, if any of you listeners get an Oko card, let me know, and maybe you can do swapsies, or I'll buy it.
On the hunt for Okos.
Please.
Moving over to Sicko Hall of Fame. Kerri picked War and Peace, the card.
Shahrazad. I don't know if I'm
Shahrazad.
pronouncing that right. Shahrazad.
It's not Charizard. Is definitely a sicko, not for art, but for the novel that is attached to it.
Hell yeah.
Do not buy Charizard at $574, please.
It's pointless if you buy it. Don't do it.
Reserve list. Just pay whatever you can get your hands on. Those cards will never be printed again. Shahrazad is, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologise, is white for a sorcery. I'm going to read the printed text, and then I'll read the errata text. Players must leave the game in progress as it is, and use the cards left in the libraries as decks with which to play a sub-game of Magic. When the sub-game is over, players shuffle these cards, return to libraries, and resume game in progress, with any loser of sub-game halving his or her remaining life points rounded down. Effects that prevent damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. The subgame has no ante. Using less than 40 cards may be necessary. Which just reads, 2024 Magic reads, players play a Magic subgame using the libraries as their decks. Each player who doesn't win the subgame loses half their life rounded up. So all this means is you stop playing, you play again, and then you go back to playing your original game. And then if you lost the subgame, you lose half your life rounded up. Weird.
Yeah.
Definitely weirder in the old formatting, just because there's like so many like prefixes and suffixes to like play a sub-game of Magic the Gathering. Sub-games of Magic the Gathering are just fucking weird anyway. Yeah, I love that. It's like this game has no ante, which is hilarious.
I mean, the whole reason as to why I picked this card is because, again, I was looking for weird cards and I came across this, and Shahrazad is a character from 1001 Arabian Nights story.
That's the entire set of Arabian Nights. The whole set is that story.
Yeah.
There is an Aladdin card.
I got Aladdin not long ago.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I just thought this was obviously a very again, I'm new to Magic. All of these cards are very bizarre to me, so coming across this was very weird. Just, hey, let's just fucking try and stop this game. Like, I'm going to try and stop myself from losing by distracting everyone from the main game of Magic that we're playing with this card. Obviously, it's banned, but it's... If someone pulled this out, I would just concede.
I was gonna say,
just
yeah,
be like,
if anyone
bye.
played Shahara's I'd just be like, you find it in like people's like weird cubes and stuff.
I've got
quite funny.
I've got a bit of trivia. I don't know if you know this, Kerri, but this Arabian Nights was the first expansion set, right? So it was the first like non-core set that they made, which is why it's kind of like an Arabian Nights theme. And originally it was going to have a pink back, so like the normal back, like the the leather, but it had like a pink overlay. To separate it from the set. And I think they were planning on doing that with every expansion set that wasn't core. And if that had happened, it would have kind of
broken the game.
Or made the expansion. It would have made the expansion sets useless. And I think they released some of it with the pink back, didn't they?
I believe there is a test run somewhere. I might be wrong. I might be making up more misinformation. We'll see. Shahrazad.
Also, there was a mountain left in the set that had the pink back accidentally. That's the thing. So it was actually in the boosters with the pink back.
As tradition, I will move Lily Bar Raging Grandma down one.
Rest in peace, Lily.
Rest in peace, Grandma. Is Shahrazad so offensive. Is Shahrazad weirder than a Bone Dancer?
Oh, I love my Bone Dancer.
I don't know, like Bone Dancer, majority of them I'm going off like artwork and stuff, but I just find Shahrazad just like such a weird... It's like, again, never seen a card like this. Very bizarre to me.
It is such a weird effect.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
I think it's
delay my execution by telling you all some stories, but actually it's just a sub-game of Magic.
I think it is weirder than Bone Dancer, but I think Imaginary Pet still has creepy art.
Yeah.
How do we feel? How does this look?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So Shahrazad
is Elvish Bard ever going to get knocked off the top spot?
It's going to be real hard to beat
I've
this
got it
face.
on my game. I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks looking at the weirdest shit I can find because I want that top spot.
It is this stance, this face.
I've never seen this card until you bought it as well. Like,
yeah. This, like,
I mean, okay, this is also a fun thing for anyone who's listening. If you have ever seen a card that is weirder artwork-wise than Elvish Bard Alliance...
I mean, Susan Van Camp
yeah, tell me so I can win.
Yeah,
because I want that.
so Tom could go buy everything.
Susan Van Camp has some baggers.
Yeah, Elvish Hunter's got a similar one.
There. What's this guy doing?
Oh, don't.
Inside of me, there are two wolves.
Ochi Jackal. Yeah,
I love Ochi Jackal. Let's get this off the screen. You're spoiling what I might
Moon
pick.
shirt, the cards.
Tom's like, no.
Oh, I know what I already know. I already know what I'm going to bring.
Loads. Susan Van Camp. This might become the Susan Van Camp presents the Sicko Hall of Fame.
Man.
I think Elvish Bard is going to be up there for a while. I just realised I'm not zoomed in. There you go. Sorry. Our Sicko Hall of Fame currently has Lily Bar Raging Grandma at 5, Bone Dancer at 4, Shahrazad at 3, Imaginary Pet at 2, and Elvish Bard, specifically the Alliances, are at number 1.
If you are an audio listener, please go and look up Elvish Bard Alliances art because it's incredible.
I want this like as a wall scroll.
Or just watch episode 1 on YouTube.
It's so good. Yeah, or just watch it on YouTube, please.
Go and watch episode 1. Then go and watch episode 2 where we talked about this again and probably pulled it up.
every episode is just us gushing about Elvish Bard Alliances art.
I feel like I need this card now. I need to buy this card.
It's not expensive. Yeah. 16 cents.
Yeah.
I think I've got this in a deck, so I do.
But yeah.
No, I don't.
Next episode, we'll probably do a kind of quick recap on Tom's jaunt to Command Fest, and what else is going on? We'll probably come up with more comedy bits. We kept
OTJ pre-releases next weekend.
This episode will be airing the night before the pre-release, so
yeah. So we can chat about pre-releases.
We can chat about pre-releases, Command Fest. Yeah. We'll do more comedy bits. We just realised this was going to be way more preview heavy. But that's what happens when a set comes out. Sorry. We're going to talk about cards.
We could put some of the interview stuff in the episode if we need. So if you are at Command Fest, talk to me and you could be on the next episode.
You could ask questions and then we could have those in the episode. They're ingenious, I am. Anyway.
There we go. Write that
down. Bye.
Oh, hi. I'm back. Adam's really bad at outros, so I thought I'd come back and record one. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like the video, click the bell, all the YouTube stuff, please. It really helps us. Leave us a comment. Let us know what your favourite cards are in the new set. That'd be great. If you're listening on any of the podcast apps, leave us a review. 5 stars, please. We'd like that. If you could write something, maybe we'll read it out. I hope. We'll figure it out. We'll do it next episode. All socials down below. Follow us on there. Add us your favourite cards in the new set. Just add us anything, really. And also this episode should have the new jingle theme tune written by Adam the Gathering. His socials will be linked down below as well. Let us know what you think of it. I love it. It's great. And yeah, I'll see you all at Command Fest. If you're there, come find me. And yeah, 2 weeks, we'll be back with a new episode covering all that. So catch you later.